Hello, everyone, and welcome to the this section. Letecia starts day 8. It will be audio, and thanks for watching.
That as we walk through your testimony here. Is this the right positioning that you prefer for this? It's very big.
It's fine. It's most important that the jury be able to see it. I think maybe if you cant it a little bit, turn it the other way.
Which way you're?
Like this. Other way.
Facing the jury.
There you go. There you go.
We're good now?
Yep.
Please follow. Okay. Mr. Leeward, can you walk the jury through the diagram that appears in People's Exhibit 442, basic layout of the house?
Absolutely. Is it okay if I stand up next to the diagram as well?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
But if you're going to do that, you'll need to stand to one side or the other so that the jurors at the far end will still be able to see. So you just need to stand at one side or the other of the diagram.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Thank you. So as you can see on the top of the diagram, or the first section of this, that is going to be the main level of 6627 Van Dam Drive. And when it relates to my crime scene processing, my first response was predominantly focused on in the upper right-hand corner over here. That is the garage. We were tasked with searching for latent blood stains in the garage earlier that day. As you can see at the bottom left corner of the garage, there's a doorway. That will open into the laundry room, which the laundry room will continue to open into the main level of the home. Towards the center of this top half of the diagram, there is a stairwell. This stairwell leads to the basement, which the basement is highlighted on the bottom level or the bottom half of this diagram. Can you guys see the bottom half over there? Is it okay if I move the diagram slightly?
That's fine.
And Your Honor, if the jurors need to stand up or move around to see the diagram, would that be permissible in their chair?
Yeah, if you need to, especially the guys in the hole over there.
And Mr. Leeward, just so we can make sure that your voice is projected, just make sure that your voice is projecting.
Absolutely. Can you all see the whole diagram now? Fantastic. So
Can all of the jurors hear him? We have a microphone if it would be helpful, but if everybody can hear him, okay. Everybody's nodding, it's all good.
So on the bottom half of this diagram, this is the basement level. And towards the middle of this bottom half of the diagram, you can see the stairwell again. This is the stairwell that connected the upper level and the lower level. But now on the bottom right side of this half of the diagram, you'll see two rooms. The room to the bottom is the southeast bedroom, which I was informed was Gannon'S room. And then the room above Gannon'S room, that is a storage room or storage closet that I also searched for Blue Star. And then towards the left side of this diagram, you have an entertainment area in the bottom left corner. In the upper left corner, you have a bathroom, an additional bedroom, and an additional walk-in closet.
Great. And so when you responded initially to the residents on February 3rd of 2020, can you walk the jury through what your method of approach when you approach a scene is?
Absolutely. When we respond to a scene in any capacity, we will always go at it in the least intrusive measures. That means I will work outside to inside. So in this case, I was tasked with searching for bloodstains within the garage, between the garage and his bedroom. Because I don't want to go to the most intrusive method, I'm not going to go straight in his bedroom. I'm going to start in the garage and work my way down. And that's the same with any crime scene. We'll always start outside and get closer to what is of interest.
Okay. And you can take a seat. I'm going to ask you to look at a set of photos. You're under permission to approach the witness with what has been marked previously provided to the defense as People's Exhibits 443 through 450.
450.
443 through 450, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you.
Mr. Leeward, can you take a moment to familiarize yourself with that set of exhibits?
Absolutely.
And do you recognize people's exhibits 443 through 450?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize them?
These are photographs that I took during my initial visit or my initial processing the morning of February 3rd.
And are they a fair and accurate depiction of what you saw during your initial processing on February 3rd of 2020?
Yes, they are.
Your Honor, at this time, the people would move to admit People's Exhibits 443 through 450 and permission to publish.
No objection. Exhibits 443 through 450 will be admitted.
Mr. Lewer, whatever is going to work better for you. If you want to stand between the screen and the diagram, I'll defer to you. But I will ask you to point out various locations on People's Exhibit 442.
Absolutely.
And sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to stand in front of the diagram so I can turn and show the best way for the jury.
Now, Mr. Lewer, you've explained that you approach a scene from the outside moving inwards. And so what we see in People's Exhibit 443, what are you documenting here?
I'm documenting the front side of the residence. So I am facing south towards the garage. And what's important here is during our overall photographs, we want to document what address we are at. So along the right-hand side of this image, you can see 662 and then something covering the bottom part. But this is the overall view of the front of 6627 Mandated Drive.
People's Exhibit 444, what are you documenting here?
This is an overall photograph of the interior of the garage. I'm standing in the northeast corner, facing southwest towards the laundry room.
People's Exhibit 445.
Now I'm standing in the southeast corner of the garage. And again, I'm facing west towards the laundry room.
People's Exhibit 446.
Standing in the southwest corner of the garage, facing east. So I'm standing right in front of the stairway to the laundry room.
People's Exhibit 447.
This is right at the base of the stairs to the laundry room. And I'm showing that there's a rug there and stairs leading into the laundry room.
Now, as you're walking through this garage area, how do you know which areas of the garage to specifically focus on?
There are multiple considerations we have to take into. For example, the question was if there were latent blood stains between the garage and his bedroom. It's not observed in these photographs yet, but there is a woodworking shop in the garage that would have been difficult for a vehicle to be parked or anybody to be present. So what we focused on were the open areas where you could walk or park a vehicle.
And in terms of the scope that you're allowed to document and process when you're on a scene, is that dictated by anything?
Yes, we have to work within the parameters of a search warrant. If there's something that we want to collect that are outside of the search warrant, we have to apply for another search warrant to be able to collect that.
And that goes directly to my first question really should have been, are you just allowed to walk into a house and start processing?
No, we are not. We are initially first requested by a law enforcement agency, traditionally the Sheriff's Office or Colorado Springs Police Department. And once they receive a search warrant, we are able to enter a home for documentation and evidence collection purposes.
And so now what we see in People's Exhibit 447 is a piece of carpet. What was important for you to do next when you observed this piece of carpet?
For the purposes of what we were doing, again, we were searching for latent blood stains. So our next step was to start spraying the garage with Blue Star to see if we could get a chemiluminescence.
And can you explain for the jury the steps in very basic steps of even just beginning to spray Blue Star? Where do you get it?
So Blue Star is a proprietary chemical, and it comes in 2 vials. We have to put these 2 vials with a certain amount of distilled water and mix that up. Once it is mixed up in a spray bottle, we will light.
Okay, y'all, what I do is, since I got an hour on here, I will do a part 2 of this video, okay? I'll be right back. Thank you.